Hello everyone, my name is Diana Konstantinidis and I am a dual qualified lawyer in Cyprus and the UK. I am making this very introduction because the topic today will be how can you cross-qualify from Cyprus to the UK. But let's get things right. In the UK there is a split in the profession. That means that you can either be a solicitor or a barrister, and you need to choose wisely which path you want to follow. A solicitor is the one that will communicate with the client, will prepare the pleadings, will be preparing and drafting the letters, and it will actually have a hands-on on the case and preparing and construing the legal case. Now, once the case is ready to actually go to the court, that's when the solicitors will get in touch with the chambers. Chambers is the office that the barristers belong to. Is the equivalent of the law firm of the solicitors. So once they get in touch with the chambers, then the case will go to the barrister, depending on the experience, on the area of law, and the expertise required. So the barrister will be the one that will appear before the court. So you need to have very strong advocacy skills to do that. So choose which area and which path you would decide to follow, the solicitor or the barrister, because there are two different regulatory bodies that you need to get in touch in order to cross-qualify. As a solicitor, you will need to speak to the Solicitors Regulation Authority, the SRA. There are two ways that you can qualify as a solicitor. The first one, you can use the Establishment Directive. That means you can become a registered European lawyer, and upon your registration as a REL, a registered European lawyer, which is the acronym, then you can be enrolled as a solicitor after 3 years of your registration date. That's one way of dealing with it. There is a second way, however, whereby I think it's quicker. That means that you can apply to the SRA, and then they will evaluate your application, and then you can do the QLTS, the Qualified Lawyers Transfer Scheme. And that means upon passing the QLTS, you enroll as a solicitor. Bear in mind that when you apply, and once the SRA will look into your application and assess it, then the exams that you have to undertake, it will be governed by another institution, and that will be Kaplan. So from Kaplan, they're the ones who are going to be responsible of doing the exams, and then but they do not provide whatsoever notes or lectures for the preparation of the QLTS. So you will be responsible to find yourself a provider. And I do know that there are 3 different providers. I'm not sure if there are more, or some of them if they're closed down, so please make sure that you check it out. There is BPP, that I know they're still around and they're really good in what they do. There's the QLTS score, and there's the QLTS Advantage score. So there's 3 different providers, and I may say that they're quite costly, and it's the price that you have to pay in order to cross-qualify as a solicitor. And those are the 2 ways that you can cross-qualify as a solicitor in the UK. Now, if you want to be a barrister you have to speak to the Bar Standard Board, the BSB. You can again follow the Establishment Directive, and that's one way of dealing with it. And the other way is whereby you can apply to the BSB and then do the BTT, the Bar Transfer Test. Once you do your Bar Transfer Test, that means you academically qualified to practice as a barrister. However, depending on what the outcome of your application from BSB, you may have to undertake the pupillage, you may be exempted from pupillage, or you may have to do a reduced pupillage. So it will be your responsibility to get out there, speak to chambers, apply to chambers, and secure yourself a pupillage. So that's the other thing that you need to bear in mind. There is the gateway deadlines. That means you need to check when the deadline is, and make sure that you make a calendar and you put your dates right, because you will see that there will be overlap of your application, of the exams, and there is no really connection and communication between the regulatory bodies, the providers, and the institutions themselves. So you need to make sure that you remain on top of this. So that's regarding the BTT, the Bar Transfer Test. So really they're creating a friendly environment really for you to practice your advocacy skills, and it resembles the environment of a court. I'm not going to get into the areas of law you're going to be examined. You can actually look into the BPP and see the BTT, and you will see the modules that you could be examined. But it really depends on what the BSB will tell you upon reviewing your application. When you draft your application, make sure that you you put a lot of evidence on your advocacy skills. That's what the BSB want to see. They want to see that you have the experience in dealing with a trial, dealing with a hearing, an interim application, etc. So put that into your application, and especially if you've been shadowing barristers in the UK, that is a bonus for you. So put that into your application. I think that is it. That's the main difference. That's the way you can cross-qualify. Just the last point that I want to mention is that make sure you get your good standing certificate from the Cyprus Bar Association. It's very straightforward. It doesn't cost much of money, and bear in mind that it only has 3 months of lifespan into it. So you need to make sure that when you going to be emailing your application and your certificate of good standing is still valid. That is it. If you're currently cross-qualifying, best of luck with that. I know how it is. I know how overwhelming it can be. I've been there. I've dealt it. It is quite a journey. But, you know, stay strong. You can do it. If you do have any questions regarding cross-qualification, please feel free to get in touch with me. I'll be very happy to help you. And if you are, which I don't think anyone who's not a lawyer is going to be watching this, but, you know, anything that you do, best of luck and have a lovely day. Bye bye.